All right, I'll get started. Uh, Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Live on ServiceNow webinar. For Now Assist for ITSM, we'll specifically be talking about the agent productivity skills today. Uh, Before I get started, I got to show you our safe harbor statement. So I'll be talking about some forward-looking statements, demoing some new capabilities. So always safe harbor applies. Uh, there might be risks and other uncertainties that may alter our roadmap going into the future. So just a quick call out on that. Um, Today's session is part of the Live on ServiceNow, which is again a curated event to connect you with our ServiceNow experts and peers. So we're going to schedule a bunch of other webinars and 360 exchanges. You can see the schedule by scanning the QR code, and make yourself available for some of the future webinars as well. All right. Uh, Quick introductions before we get in. My name is Shubham Sen. I'm a senior inbound product manager. Uh, Specifically look into some of the agent productivity skills as part of ITSM's offering on Gen AI and on Now Assist. I have with me here today Jeff, Shrikar. I don't see Sangeeta yet, but I do see Brian. Unfortunately, I don't have him on the slide here. But if you gentlemen could just go ahead and maybe give a quick introduction before we move on.
Sure thing. Thanks, Shubham. Hi, my name is Jeff Fox. I'm a product manager here at ServiceNow. Been with the company over 3 years, been working on Now Assist for about just over a year as well. I'm really focused on our requester capabilities, but I'm excited to be here to support Shubham and you guys on the call to talk about the agent productivity features. So glad to be here. Thanks. Shrikar?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shrikar. I've been with ServiceNow ITSM for almost 6 years now. I'll focus on fulfiller related products and Now Assist for ITSM. Happy to be here to support Shubham and answer any of your questions. Thank you. Brian?
Hi everyone, my name is Brian Lamb. I've been at ServiceNow for 3.5 years and working on the Gen AI product since its inception in 2023. Excited to have you guys all on the call and show you guys how to turn on some of the agent-facing features of Now Assist.
Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone. Before we get started, have a quick poll question to run. You should see the poll about in a few seconds. So wanted to understand what's your purpose for joining the session today? Is it more about you want to learn more about what Now Assist is? Maybe you already know about Now Assist and you want to consider purchasing it. You've already bought it and are looking for implementation. You're in the process of implementing it, or it could be something else. Right, we have a few responses coming in. We'll give it another minute and then we'll get moving.
Responses have slowed. We'll go ahead and end the poll.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. So, having said that, why are we here today? We want to understand more about Now Assist. Uh, with Now Assist, the core idea was how can we help employees with self-service and improve IT productivity, while at the same time ensuring that we maintain exceptional user experience. that was the mission critical behind putting together Now Assist capabilities. So if you look at how a typical incident flow looks like for employees and service agents, and when an employee is faced with a particular incident, they would want to self-serve, figure out the solution themselves. But when it's not possible, you would ideally see them, go through a virtual agent, try and get those issues resolved. In case if that doesn't work out, that's where they would reach out to a live agent. Now, when a live agent takes over, they would need to read through a bunch of different chat transcripts to figure out what the issue is. Um, Now, for a live agent as well, the the content and different kind of resources and information is not always readily available as part of their internal databases. So it definitely takes them time to triage. Now, if it's not possible for an L1 agent, for example, to solve that problem, they would go to an L2 agent. And when the handover from an L1 to an L2 agent is also kind of messy, where everyone's in the rush to clear the queue. They don't have the time to document all the triaging steps that can help an L2 agent then take over and give the ideal solution. So the cycle kind of repeats itself all over again, where the L2 agent has to again go through the entire context, get an idea about what the incident is, and even once, if they are able to resolve it at the end, documentation is not the top of the mind. There could always be a knowledge gap, which is hard to fulfill, given there's always an entire incident queue to look after. So, having said that, to overcome that vicious cycle, Now Assist is basically trying to create a virtuous loop that begins with ensuring that we are able to promote a lot of self-service content for our employees and engage them further with with a ton of generated answers, different conversational catalogs. Can we streamline incident resolutions where it takes lesser time for resolution for different kinds of incidents for our IT service desk agents? And while at the same time ensure that as more and more incidents keep getting resolved, there is an automation process that creates more and more self-service content that would eventually help employees take care of some of the issues themselves. So in terms of outcomes, as I mentioned, for employees, it's more about how can they self-serve with more content being available. For agents, it's how can you get the process information faster, ensure solutions and resolutions are deployed quicker, and for owners, it's about ensuring that new solutions and new updates are deployed quickly, which enables them to get a greater ROI on their process. So let's get to know a little bit more about Now Assist. Um, I'll give you a quick glimpse in terms of how a particular use case looks like with and without Now Assist. So if you consider a standard incident pre-Now Assist, what would typically happen is an employee would do a little bit of intelligent search. If they're unable to find a solution there, they would go to a virtual agent, chat with the virtual agent, try to see if there are resources available. If a virtual agent is unable to solve it for them, they would reach out to a live agent, where the live agent would have to triage the chat to understand the context of the issue that the employee is facing. They of course would have a bunch of related tasks and items available to them, and they would try and kind of search through their related tasks and see if one of them could be provided as a solution. But if none of that works, they would reassign that particular task to, say, an L2 agent, right? And while reassigning it, again, as I mentioned before, an L2 agent would have to go through the entire activity stream, understand the entire context, uh, and then work on the incident. If they are able to find a resolution, they would have to add, kind of resolution notes at the end, create a little bit more in terms of some of the suggested steps that the employee would have to take in order to get to solve the incident. And finally, all they could do was they could report some of the knowledge gap, not really build on that, and drive more self-service content. So now that we have now ITSM, now Assist for ITSM, what we can do is we can reimagine this entire incident flow, where once an employee has started reached out through the Now Assist panel, or it could be through the virtual agent. uh, if there are resources available, that is available to them right away, or else they can reach out to a live agent. Now, when a live agent gets that incident, it's already the chat that the employee was having previously is already summarized. So they get a quick summary of what the issue is all about. Then they can create an incident around it. Again, an incident that can be summarized and handed over to an L2 agent. So the mean time for interaction again is reduced, and once an L2 agent is maybe able to resolve it, they can use Now Assist to quickly auto-populate some of the resolution notes based on the activity stream. And finally, if there is a knowledge gap, you have Now Assist that will help them create new knowledge articles that will then go back into their database, which to serve as self-service content for the employee, right? So, as I mentioned, so Now Assist for ITSM, it empowers your IT team in three different aspects. Firstly, it provides employees with 24/7 access to contextual services, enables them to resolve issues instantly. Second, it streamlines workflows for agents and IT teams, and allows them to focus on more impactful projects rather than getting bogged down by routine tasks. And finally, Now Assist ensures that your services are resilient and innovations are delivered with agility, making your IT services and operations not only predictable, but also adaptive to change. So in the next few slides, we just dive a little bit deeper into each of these points to show how Now Assist can transform your IT team and ensure that your agents and your employees have a better experience. So there are three areas that we typically look at when it comes to Now Assist. So the first is for the employees, which is on self-service. How can we, ensure that there is a better experience for end users, which eventually is going to take a lot of the plate of your IT teams by offering efficiency and experience. Now Assist delivers an engaging self-service that increases deflections with good service built on speed and a smart system that generates contents and accurate answers. Um, there's a lot of self-service deflections in terms of where an employee can engage with conversational catalogs. They can engage with virtual agents and live agents where they can get generated answers or LLM powered topics. And of course, fast time to value, where you can, as you will see in the demo coming ahead, you can deploy your solutions very quickly within minutes with content in your instance, and that can help you solve your unique use cases. The second area is on agent productivity, which is basically what we are going to focus on today. Uh, Now Says basically has a suite of agent-facing capabilities to streamline incident resolutions at key inflection points, right from start to finish. So in terms of benefits, you'll definitely see improved service quality where agents are able to deliver better services faster with lesser time spent manually digging up for information and gathering contextual understanding of the incident. There's a One of the aims is to reduce the mean time to resolution, where you can save time, speed up resolutions where the agents can basically uh, rely on answers that are generated from some of the closed and the resolved incidents and some other similar incidents uh, that have already been solved, right? And finally, better experience where summaries and knowledge content generation occur at key inflection points within the flow. The final area is this is more around using Now Assist for change management. That's where service resilience is. So, in terms of the benefits, again, how we can improve service quality is by ensuring that developers receive support in crafting better change requests. Change managers can quickly understand the associated risk, enabling them to implement changes. In terms of experience, not just for the developers, but for the entire team. So, change managers, problem managers, major incident managers. Um, how can you augment the experience through Now Assist and enhance productivity across the board? And finally, a fast time to value. I think this is a theme that you will see common across all our service areas, which is how can we ensure that within a few clicks you can turn on Now Assist and immediately boost the reliability of either your IT operations or your IT productivity. So having said that, I'll come on to our second poll question. Um, and this is about if you're entitled to use Now Assist and but you're not using it, what are some of the challenges that you're facing in adoption of Now Assist? All right, we see some answers coming in. We'll give it a few more seconds before we jump in. Okay, I think we can end the poll. The answers have slowed down now. Perfect. Thank you for engaging on this. Let me quickly go to the demo. So I'll just switch my presentation. Uh, could you confirm if you're able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So, now I'm at the Now Assist admin overview. How you can get here is by going to all and basically typing Now Assist, and it will show you the Now Assist admin center. Also, it might be available from the admin shortcut. So basically, once you're here, you can, if you already have all your plugins installed, you can go ahead and dive into some of the Now Assist features. But in case if you want to, if you don't have the plugins yet, and you would want to go in, you can always go to Browse Plugins, and you'll be able to see a bunch of different kinds of Now Assist plugins that are available for you. For the demo today, I wanted to use the Now Assist for ITSM, which I have already installed. So I will go back to the overview page. So over here, what you can see is on the dashboard, you can see different kinds of numbers where you can see what are the how many plugins are installed, how many skills are inactive, in draft state, not started. You can get a summary. Give me one second. Yeah, you can get a summary of your plugin status, your skill status. You have a checklist view, which basically tells you what are all the steps that you need to follow in order to get running with Now Assist. And there are a bunch of other metrics that you can look at in terms of skills usage, the number of actions you've taken, the number of actions over time, and so on. We also have an analytics overview over here, which is where you can monitor the overall health of how you're using Now Assist. So you can look at across different filters. You can look at the number of actions, number of unique users, your skills usage trend. You can look at your self-service performance. How many queries have you run? What's the performance of your deflection? What's the deflection rate? How many self-service indicators do you have, and so on. And you can explore this more going forward. But again, this gives you an overall view of Now Assist and how you're using it today. So I'll quickly go into some of the Now Assist features that we're going to talk about today. So what you can see here is basically a bunch of different ITSM skills that is available for different areas of capabilities. It could be chat related functionality where you have chat summarization, sidebar discussion summarization, chat reply recommendations. We have skills around knowledge management where you can do KV generation, skills around incident. Uh, where there's a bunch of incident related functionalities, email recommendation, incident assist, incident summarization, resolution node generation, and finally, there are a couple of skills around chain requests as well. So for today, for the purpose of the demo today, I will be focusing on a few skills from incident, from knowledge, and from chat, right? So to begin with, as I mentioned before during the presentation, that basically turning on a skill, activating a particular skill, it happens in within minutes, and it's very easy to deploy some of these features. So let's go ahead, walk through that journey, and show you how you can quickly go ahead and activate some of your skills. So to begin with, maybe you want to activate a skill like incident summarization. Now, what you will see here is there are a bunch of selections that are already made out of the box and is made available to you. So my recommendation is when you get started, you start off with the out of the box options. And once you're able to establish your use case, once you're able to get comfortable on the features, you can start making some configurations of your own, and I will show you how to make those configurations as well. So to start, you say we want to do incident summarization. You have some of your general details like the name of the skill, the description around it, some more metadata around it. Uh, you can go ahead and continue. And this is where you choose your input. Now, there are different input templates for different stages of an incident. So if it's a new incident, you have input details around the incident, short description, some base input fields, uh, whereas the template kind of changes as you go through the different stages. So if it's a work in progress, you will see a few more base input fields. You can see related tables as additional data sources. So in this particular instance, you have task SLA and affected CIs as additional data sources. And similarly, you will see some of these templates that will keep evolving as you go through the different stages of a particular incident, right? So you can quickly save and continue. Uh, for your prompt selection, again, out of the box, there are a few selections that are already made for you. So, for example, if it's a new incident, the available prompt is around issues. But as you go ahead and for a work in progress incident, you will see prompts around key actions taken, SLAs, affected CIs. For resolved, you would see a prompt around resolution, and for closed incidents, the same as well. So you can maybe quickly go ahead and choose a particular incident. You can run a test and see if the prompt's working. So for this particular incident, you have definitely the prompts working where you have a broken laptop issue, overheating, and so on, and you can see that the summarization works beautifully over here. I'll quickly continue. So by default, the skill is always made always available, but you can customize the availability of the skill as well. You want to control, how you are able to use this particular feature. Maybe you want it assigned to a particular people, a person, or a group of people, or to an assignment group, or it's based on the activity status or some other metric. So you can set your own condition. For our demo, I'll just go ahead and make it always available. In terms of the trigger, so this is where you can choose when and how the scale will be triggered. So an assignment model will basically help you basically with the save action when you change the assignment group or you want to change an incident that is assigned from one particular agent to another particular agent. So I'll have this assignment modal on as well for the purpose of the demo. And finally, you can also choose where to display the incident summarization feature. Uh, the recommendation is definitely to always have it on in your in product desktop. I typically have it on my Now Assist panel as well, but you can choose based on your implementation if you want to keep it on the Now Assist panel as well. Finally, once you've made all the selections, you can review, activate all your selections, and just click on activate, and you're good to go. So that's all it took to activate a feature like incident summarization. So let me quickly go and show you how. So I had gone ahead and actually created a copy of the incident summarization as well to show you how you can configure yourself. So what you can do is you can click on the three dotted menu on the side, and that will give you an option to make a copy. So let's see how when you make a copy, how does that help you with some of your configurations? To begin with, you can work around on the name of the skill, add your own descriptions around the skill. Uh, you have more flexibility around the input data. What are some of the base input fields that you want to select? There are additional rules and conditions that you want to implement on your input template. Similarly, for different stages of the incident, you have more flexibility around choosing your additional data sources as well across, incidents that are a work in progress, incidents that are resolved, and incidents that have been closed, right? In terms of prompt selection as well, there is greater flexibility where apart from the base prompt that has already been pre-selected, you could also go ahead and select other prompts for again incidents across various stages. Um, the selections for availability stay the same. Selections for trigger and display stay the same. So I'll take a quick pause and I will see if all of you are following. Let's see if there's anything on the chat. Uh, I hope all of you are posting your questions on Q&A. We have folks here on the call who will definitely be able to help you with your questions. All right, so let me quickly go ahead and activate the next skill for you. So now that we have activated incident summarization, I want to go ahead and activate resolution node generation as well. So once you've resolved an incident, you want to ensure Now Assist quickly generates some of the resolution notes that can be sent to an end user. So you want to define, what's the trigger for the resolution node generation. Um, it's typically it's automatically out of the box. It is done automatically, where once you click on resolve, it generates the resolution nodes for you. But you can also make it user triggered, where based on if certain conditions are met, you want to enable it to be user triggered. That requires a user input before the actual nodes are created. For the purpose of this demo, I'll not turn this on and let Now Assist do it automatically. For input data, again, the base input table, input fields are already selected out of the box, and you can look at, like we did for incident summarization, you can define availability. Uh, Out of the box, the skill is always available, but you can customize the availability of the skill. And finally, choose, where to display. Uh, for the purpose of this demo, I'll have it displayed both in product on the desktop as well as on the Now Assist panel. Finally, you can review and activate. And there you go. I think that took us probably a minute to activate resolution node generation feature. So let me quickly go into and activate another skill for you, which we will walk through today, which is on KB generation. So similar steps like the above. You can quickly go ahead and activate the KB generation skill, where you're using basically using leveraging GenAI to create KB articles. Um, so as I mentioned before in the previous two skills as well, some of the inputs are pre-selected and provided as default out of the box. So that's like your input table, your input fields. Then you go ahead and you can define the availability of the skill. So for this particular instance, I probably don't want the skill to be always available, because you would ideally generate a KB article only when an incident has been resolved or is in a closed state. So that's what you see here in terms of the conditions. What we have maintained is the state of the incident is resolved or the state of the incident is closed. You can of course customize this at your end based on your individual condition sets. So I'll go ahead and choose that and select the display. And for the purpose of this demo, I want to display it in product as well as on the Now Assist panel. Save and continue. Finally, we'll review all my selections and click on activate, and we are good with activation of the KB generation skill as well. Taking another quick pause here to see if your questions are being answered, if there's anything else that can help with. All right. I will go into the workspace and show you some of these features in action. So I'm just logged in as the admin right now. So you can look at a particular incident. Let me just select a particular incident. Let's say, let's go for the first one. All right. So you have an incident here where basically, a loaner laptop is asking for a recovery key for this end user, right? You have some of the incident details around here. Um, all you need to do is click on summarize, and that will summarize the incident for you, where you can see the summary in terms of what was the issue, what were the key actions taken, what was the resolution provided, what are some of the details around the service level agreement that had to be monitored, what were some of the affected CIs and impact services, and all of this has been basically summarized into a succinct group of text. For if you remember when early on during the demonstration, I spoke to you about handoff between agents. How do you prevent agents from your level 2 or level 3 agents who are taking over a particular incident from a level 1 agent to not waste time by going through the entire activity stream, right? You don't really want to go through the entire activity stream. That takes up a lot of time. So what you can do is, based on the incident summary, you can quickly share the incident summary to your work notes, and what they can do here is they can just go in, consume the summary of the incident that was being looked at by probably an L1 agent, and then take action on top of it. So that's basically how you can summarize an incident. Now, let me show you one of the use cases around how you can summarize your chat, right? So for that, let me impersonate a different user. All right. So I got to bring her online, but I definitely have to open up a different browser. Oops. So imagine there is a chat between an employee and um, a particular live agent, right? How would that interaction look like? So let me quickly impersonate an employee. All right. So you can basically open the virtual agent, and you can begin your chat where you want to resolve a particular incident. Let's say you know say my laptop is not working. That's the issue you're facing right now, right? And that's what the employee wants help with. Now, if there are any associated KB articles or resources, they would populate those as options over here. In this particular case, there might not be too many resources to go forward with. So what you can do is, either you want to create an incident and then wait for the incident to get resolved, or if you want sort of immediate action on it, you want to look at, okay, what are the other options available to me? Maybe there are certain KBs that around Mac OSs, or there are KBs around how to turn on notifications on a computer. Some of these might help you, or you know what, you just want to go ahead and chat with a live agent. So let me just click on chat with a live agent, right? So when I click on chat with a live agent, there I have received a request. So the agent receives the request and close this. What you see here is the agent has received a summarized chat from Now Assist, where they don't have to go through the activity stream of that employee on the virtual agent. They can quickly get a summarized chat over here, which says that, hey, Joe's laptop is not working. They've requested for a chat with a live agent for assistance. Um, so what you can do here is you want to ask more questions, right? As a live agent, do you really want to type out everything, or maybe let Now Assist help you with a recommendation of what you should reply? So maybe uh, you want to say, let's see, like, hey, good morning, Joe. I'm here to help you. Could you please tell me about the issue you're facing? Uh, and you can refine this further. If you want to elaborate it or you want to shorten it, you can do so. So if you say, for example, if you want to elaborate it, this will give you more context for you to go ahead and ask the employee. So let me insert this and send a text back to Joe. So Joe receives this saying, receiving the message from Beth, who is the live agent, and then he can respond back saying that uh, mm, maybe the laptop won't start, or the OS is updated. And then this can go on back and forth. What the live agent can also do, by the way, in case if they don't receive a response from the employee on chat, is they could uh, go ahead and send out an email as well, asking them for give me 1 second and I'll bring that up. Actually, let me first go ahead and show you what they can do in terms of creating an incident around it. So now imagine if this is they need to create an incident. Maybe they want to eventually change the laptop in itself. So you would still need to create an incident around it. So if you go ahead and create an incident, so you will see that the incident basically takes all the details from the activity stream. Um, you'll see the summary around it, and you can see some of the further details where the short description, the description, the uh, the color, or what's the priority. Some of these base inputs have already been set. You can go ahead and add some of the other details as well, and that's an incident that has been created. Now, what you can do is once you're good with this particular incident, and you want to go ahead and now resolve it because you have given a resolution, you can quickly hit on resolve over here, and there you go. So maybe it's a solution that you've already provided. It will tell you what's the root cause of the issue, what are some of the resolution steps around it. And if you want to enhance this further, you can add your own details as well, saying that, hey, new laptop issued, something like that, and you click on resolve. So now you see that the incident has moved from a work in progress to a resolved state. This is where you can also quickly go ahead and say you want to end chat. And now that you have resolved the incident, you want to quickly go ahead and create a knowledge article. So you can select your knowledge base. So this is a new knowledge gap that you are creating and not a known error. You can select your article template. So for example, right now I'm just going to select a standard template, and you can click on create article, and take now assistance to draft that knowledge article. You can again make a couple of selections here. As I said, the knowledge base is going to be a new knowledge, and you have a couple of selections on the language. So I choose English and we continue. And there you go. Your knowledge base article has been created by Now Assist. So that's a typical workflow or the way you can use Now Assist features around incident summarization, around chat reply recommendations, around resolution node generation, and KB article generation. I'll take a pause here and see if there are any questions that need to be answered. Shikar, Brian, are there any other questions um, that we need to address?
There is one question on, is there any webinar coming up on the chat capabilities? Brian, do you know any webinars that we planned on the chat capabilities?
Not off the top of my head, but I do recommend going to the Live on ServiceNow web portal to take a look at what we do have scheduled. Sometimes other teams will schedule events that we're not aware of, so there might be one on Agent Chat that we just don't know about. So please do visit the Live on ServiceNow webinar to take a look.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Um, so let me ask you a final poll question. So now that you have seen, one second. So now that you have basically seen um, the demo and seen how easy it is to implement, activate, and launch some of the Now Assist features, do you feel more confident about deploying it? Uh, and you think you can deploy it this year, or you need more time? And if there is any way we can assist you, please do let us know. We'll be more than happy to engage you on that. All right. I think we see the polls. Okay, it's picking up again. I'll give it a few more seconds before I close it. Okay, I'll end poll right now. Um, so yeah, that's mostly all what we had from today's webinar in terms of some of the uh, agent productivity features from Now Assist, and uh, hope you are able to basically take away the ease with which you can deploy and activate some of these features, how you can basically tailor your use cases around it. Hope you were able to see the power of summarization and the power of handing over those summarization, ensuring that you know you are making efficiency gains on the time spent for resolving incidents, for how automation of some of these resolution notes, bridging some of the knowledge gaps, um, uh, that's going to be basically effective in a typical incident flow that you see on a day-to-day in your organization. Are there any other questions? I see a question from Karatuzina. Apart from agents, as it makes their work more automatic and efficient, are there any other groups that can benefit from them apart from the user who receives quicker response from the agent? Of course, so one aspect of it is definitely from the agent side, where it improves them in their productivity, but also at the same time, if you see, once an incident is solved and you create these knowledge articles, you're bridging knowledge gaps continuously. That would just go on to improving self-service for employees going forward. So in future, the hope is, the assumption is that when similar incidents happen, so when similar issues occur, they wouldn't need to go through this entire cycle all over again to work with a live agent and get that incident resolved. They can probably leverage some of these knowledge articles that they have created during some of these incident resolution tasks to self-serve and resolve it themselves. Okay, any other question? We have another 5 minutes. We're almost at the top of the hour. All right. Any closing statements, Shrikar, Brian, from your end?
No, I think we're good. Good job, Sharon. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you all for joining in today. Please do reach out if you have any other questions. We'll be glad to assist.
Thanks, team. Bye.
Thank you.